live.
We're live and we got it. We here.
We are live. We are here. We are here. Hello, Dr. Lamar Quinn. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am doing great. We're I got the day off tomorrow, so in Friday, what I'm saying? I took an extra day, so I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. So you took off tomorrow. Well, tomorrow you are already off, right? For
Yes,
the
yes,
holiday.
yes,
Shout
yes.
out to Juneteenth, right?
Come on now. Come
And
on
then
now.
you took off Friday. So now you got a whole long weekend. That
Yes,
is
yes,
awesome. That is
yes.
awesome. Well, everybody, thank you for watching this live. If you are watching me live, go ahead and say hello in the comment section. If you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay. I'm excited to have Dr. Lamar Quinn with us here on today. And it is no secret, if you have been watching me for a while, if you are not new to my space, you know I am passionate about generational wealth. You know that I am known as the women's wealth strategist, and I specialize in helping business women and professionals attract abundance and retire wealthy. However, without our men, we can only do so much. We can only
Yes,
get so
yes.
far. And so on today, I am excited to introduce to some and to present to others Dr. Lamar Quinn, because he does things for men. He does men events, male-centric events. And so with his upcoming event, which is the Gentleman's Toast, I'm excited to say that TNA Financial Group was a sponsor, a community
Thank you.
sponsor of this project. And this year's theme is the pursuit of financial happiness. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Dr. Lamar, and then we're going to get all
All
the
right,
way
let's
in there. So through his, you got to listen to your intro, okay?
all
Through
right.
his dynamic events and thought-provoking discussions and recognition of outstanding Black men in various fields, the Gentleman's Toast, hosted by Dr. Lamar Quinn, aims to challenge stereotypes, break barriers, and create a network of support that empowers Black men to take charge of their lives, whether it's through powerful award ceremonies, an impactful panel, or community focused initiatives. The
Yes.
Gentleman's Toast is committed to advancing Black excellence and ensuring that future generations have tools and opportunities that they can use to thrive. So I am encouraging women,
Mhm.
if you are watching this, tag your man, tag your brother, tag your uncle, tag that dude that keep messaging you on Facebook, and you know he needs to be in this room so he can be around some men that can help him elevate his mindset, his money, and his movement. Dr. Lamar Quinn is a dedicated father. He is a compassionate pharmacist, a visionary entrepreneur, and a passionate nonprofit founder. His journey is defined by his unwavering commitment to uplifting communities and fostering positive change. As a dynamic speaker and motivational coach, Dr. Quinn is an inspirational advocate dedicating to helping individuals unlock their highest potential. With his expertise in leadership and empowerment, Dr. Quinn combines his personal experiences and professional background to inspire transformation and create lasting impact. Whether speaking, coaching, or leading community initiatives, Dr. Lamar Quinn brings a powerful message of resilience, purpose, and progress. Without further ado, I introduce you all again to
What?
Dr. Lamar Quinn, who is here on today. See, how was it? How was it hearing your bio? Hearing all of those great things
Well,
about
first
yourself.
of all, I need a copy of that. I need to get let's start there. I need a copy of that right now. Just go ahead, text it, email it to me.
I will.
It's strange. I'm a little black boy from Chicago, south side of Chicago, east side. It is strange to hear people speak about you. Still getting used to it. It is, it's so heartfelt because those are the words my boys will hear as they get older, and that what brings me joy. That's to me is legacy, right? um and that that was the reason we named this the pursuit of financial happiness. I can't tell another person what wealth looks like in their household. I can't tell another person what freedom looks like in their household or legacy looks like. But we know the basics of financial principles, and we can pursue that happiness for that medium for them, right? Uh, but man, that just it brought tears to me because um, those words, it's once they'll be translated somewhere, and documented. And my boys would see those, and their boys and girls would see those. You know what I'm saying? That's generational impact. You know, I heard this past weekend at the Good Soul Forum, your last name is an asset. Treat it as such. And I said, man, that's different, right? Because that was, that's what's written in history books. Through all our history, all the greats, they ensured that their last name lived on beyond their life. And that's what I'm doing for our family, the Quinn family. So I do this, with very much intention. When I get on that stage to talk about these topics, I work with the best of the best. You're one of them, right? To ensure to learn, right? Because here's the thing: these men, some of them are going to be in different phases of their life, but I'm learning with them. I'm not saying I'm the expert. I'm nowhere near the expert. You know what I'm saying? But I'm surrounding myself with the experts to learn from them. So we're in this journey together. So, but it's a lot to hear that, right? And so it just brings a lot of joy to my heart. So
You're
thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. As I was reading, you said a lot right there I want to
Yeah,
unpack. So as I was reading, I was thinking about the words in there, the
yeah,
resilience and the purpose and the
yes,
progress. And if you are comfortable, can you share with us a challenge that you had on last year that caused you to be resilient? And I've seen
absolutely.
you from afar literally push through things that would have made people stop.
Yeah,
Stop everything. Forget everybody. Ain't doing nothing for
absolutely.
nobody else.
Yeah,
It's just me,
absolutely.
myself, and my babies and my wife. Like that.
Yeah,
That's how a lot of people would have been. But you pushed through some things and you
yeah,
are still out here changing lives, raising funds to give scholarships to
yeah,
young entrepreneurs and all of these things in addition to your job. Like
yeah.
this is your labor of love. So can you share with us like what is a challenge that you've had,
Yeah.
which you've had to be resilient, and then like where did that resilience come from?
It's funny. I just thought about that. Right. I kind of prepared for questions of that nature. Let Let me first say all glory to be to God. Right. He is the last 2 years, man. I just got closer and closer and built and rebuilt that relationship. Right. I come from Chicago, where there's a church on every corner, next to a liquor store, right, or something like that, where the pastor might be trapping too. Let's keep it a buck, right? And because there's different forms of trapping, telling the community that you're going to do something and sucking all the money out and going to buy bins and rolling out and not coming back. That's a different form of trapping, right? Because you're still stealing from your community, right? You're breaking trust. And so over the last 2 years, I've been had the pleasure of attending Concord Church, going to Brotherhood Bible study with all the black men, about 300 of us in that room. Shout out to my boy Les, that put me on, and my boy Devin that invited me as well. But that's been transformational for my family and my household, right? And I think God knew I needed Him the most over the last 2 years. In a December 2023, I got into almost a life-ending accident, that really changed a lot. Really changed a lot, right? Um, I had 3 surgeries. I was immobile for about 4 or 5 months, essentially. I lost my job about 6 months after that accident, right? And I still had responsibilities, right? And the next person, man, I tell you, the person you select to marry is so critical in the trajectory of your life. Emotionally, financially, mentally, spiritually, is so important. And I speak this about my wife, the way she endured for her entire family, the way that she put her self preservation and self last, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get boys dressed, to get me food, to get me dressed, stand up extra to bathe them, then bathe me. Yes, I wasn't able to bathe myself. She had to do that. And then trying to find time to bathe herself, to see her hunched over in the shower, trying to figure it out and get the energy. and not for like a week, months, you know. And so that hit differently. That hit way differently. I made a promise at that moment, like, hey, when I get back on these 2 feet, I am focused, right? I'm not busy. I'm focused. It's a big difference between focus and busy. Busy gets you in car accidents because you're staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Because you think that you can, do this. Focus, man, gets you to where you need to go. So knowing the difference, because we've been told to hustle all of our lives, hustle and grind. What got you there is not going to get you there, right? Or keep you there, right? There's a saying I go by. What got you there is not going to keep you there. Hustling does not work when you hit different rooms. Structure, systems, focus helps a lot. And so, um, man, I say that challenge this last year and a half is of getting to a point of knowing how to differentiate the two has been key. Getting closer to God has been amazing, right? Thank you, Pastor Carter, for your ministry. You have a gift. Uh, Man, getting closer to my wife is crazy how things like this can bring you closer to the person that you love. Getting closer to my boys. I have three amazing boys, neurodivergent boys, right? And they just light up my world every single day. It made me be still for a second and see them all the way in their gifts, their that they have, right? Um, and so what I thought was a challenge ended up being a rebirth, kind of, right? Um, I was putting to bed the survival mode that I learned and how to hustle until getting through pharmacy school into a rebirth where I'm understanding structure more, systems more, the benefit of those things. You experience it, Terry. You can tell I move a little bit differently, right? Um, you can see that, right, in our relationship, in our business relationship, right? And so those things, right? I'm looking at StreamYard now. I'm like, hey, I need to incorporate this, right?
Oh,
Because
I'm
now it's a new tool.
I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. And so because you can work smarter and not harder. We know this. And so that's been a huge understanding those things and implementing those things. But I'm glad I saw that, right. And so it was a perspective shift, right. What I thought was meant to destroy me was meant to grow me,
Yeah.
right. And I am enjoying this growth, right. Because everybody wants to ask, are you doing okay? I see you doing a lot of events, you're doing these things and these things. But another individuals, my team, the Tulsa Charity Board of Directors, the advisory team, the men that are helping me with Gentleman's Toast. Man, I tell you, God's seen you who you need when you need him, not when you want him, right?
Say
Um,
that again.
um, I tell you, people pop up in my life. Some that I haven't seen in years, some I never known, and has been blessing the uh, the purpose behind the movements, um, beyond my comprehension. But I knew they were sent by God, right? Um, not chasing folks, right? I mentioned this about you, right? You heard about the event, and it took you 10 minutes to look at it and say, "Hey, I'm all in." Right? That matters, right? It matters, right? Moving with attention matters, right? It builds and is it strengthens communities, relationships, right? When you have to meet with somebody 10 to 15 times, that's a lot of time. Exactly, right? Uh, and I think we we think that's a flex in our community. Now, if I send you meet with you once and send you documents, you can't decide. It's not meant to happen.
Mm-mm.
It's
No,
not meant to happen.
no.
You ask me questions that can be seen on a document. It's not meant to happen. It's not
Mm-mm.
meant to happen. God bless you. Yeah.
Listen, you just are dropping so many gems, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to interrupt you, but I got to because you said so much in such
Yeah.
a short period of time. So, first of all, if you are just now tuning in, I am here with Dr. Lamar Quinn. He has an incredible event next Saturday, and it's
Yes.
called the Gentleman's Toast. And so I asked him to speak about a story of resilience, and y'all, he said who you marry is so important, not just for your life now, but for the things you may endure in the
Yeah.
future. And so I just want to give Lauren her pom pom and sing a pom pom for
Yes. Yes.
for being
Yes.
the queen that she is, but she's always the queen. Like, if y'all have never met her, like, you have to meet her. Like, sometimes you could just hug a person and
Yeah.
their spirit is just
Yep.
so sweet yet royal. Like,
Yep.
that's her. I was like, ooh, I
Mm.
like her. I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yeah.
So I just want to shout that out. I didn't want to like keep moving past that because
Yeah.
that's important, right?
It
And
is.
not
It
to get
is.
too churchy, but I know you mentioned your relationship with God has grown, but I believe that there's a reason why the Bible says that the woman's to be the help me. What they used to say
Man.
growing up, the help
Man.
me, right?
Yeah.
The
Yep.
help me. And so you just never know how your life is going to play out. And so again, as he stated, it's important that you're married to the right person with the right values. Who's going to be there when you're down? You said this woman, I can't listen. Hold on. I can't even go forward without just restating what you said. You said she had to give the babies a bath, the three babies
Yep.
a bath. Then she had to give you a bath, and then she had to go into a space where she's like, but I have to give myself a bath, and nobody in this season, in this space, in this time can do this except me.
Me. Yep.
I have to be the one. So shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Man. Big shout out, Bear. Big shout
Yes,
out to her.
I also heard you speak about the importance of brotherhood and getting
Yes.
through what you were getting through or going through. I know you had an accident, but
Yes.
sometimes in our community, especially with it being Black Men's Health Month, sometimes men don't go to the doctor until it's too
Yep.
late. They don't focus on their health until it's too late. They'll go to the gym because it's cute. They'll run so they can have some nice pictures and stuff. However, like truly focusing on our health is not just our physical health, it's also
Yes.
our mental health. It's also our financial health because the truth of the matter is you can go to the gym every day, but if you are stressed out and you're dealing with anxiety and depression and all of those things, it's still going to affect your body.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
still going to affect your body.
That's
So
good
we need to
because
be
that's good.
around guys like Dr. Lamar and his crew and his circle of friends because again, and I'm gonna give it back to you, but again, how are we going to build generational wealth in silo?
Man.
Like, we're not supposed to do it by ourselves. It's supposed to be a family unit. I know I'm not married, but I've been a teacher, I've been a
Yeah.
principal, I've been a missionary. I've seen some things. I'm a businesswoman. I am single because that's where I'm supposed to be right now.
Right now. Got. Yep. Yep.
Please, best believe I believe in the family unit and I
Yeah.
believe in what is happening with the gentleman's toast. So I'm gonna give it back over to you, Dr. Lamar.
You mentioned also a couple of things, man. The gym does not solve all problems because it doesn't solve the root issues of what's causing that anxiety and stress. Heart heart issues is the number one cause of death in our community. And you think due to high blood pressure, whatever it is, but a lot of that is because of stress, right? You think about all the stress we have to endure since we're kids, right? Microaggression, racism, poverty, all those things right there, they compound. They don't just remove themselves, right? And so you have to get to a space where you can be vulnerable, you can have those conversations. Like a brotherhood of concord, like a gentleman's toast, right? Like a therapist, sit down with somebody and talk and open up and heal, right? That's something I've been really focused on myself. In fact, before I got into my accident, I keep a buck with y'all. I was with my therapist. I was 2 weeks before my accident. I said, the devil about to come for me hard. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, I can feel him. I could feel him on my neck. He said, why? I said, because I'm doing all the right things.
Mm.
I said, he's going to want to disrupt this, right? Because this is the first time in my life I'm actually intentionally getting closer to God. When I tell you something, when I tell you intentionally, meaning that on Sundays it's football, family, God. Now it's God, family, then football. I wouldn't miss a football game for church for nothing. Now I won't miss church for anything. And so I knew God was working in a way that I didn't understand at the moment, and I knew the devil was upset about it. And I told my therapist, and he can confirm this. He said, "Man, you told me he was coming. Now what are you gonna do about it? Because your faith is being tested." And so go back to that word faith. Man, Pastor Carter just did a really phenomenal service on ridiculous faith. I said, "Woo!" Ridiculous faith. And sometimes you have to be so faithful that you need somebody that's more faithful than you, my wife, to pray for you to get through some things. And that's
Mhm.
what happened for me. Second thing about union, the household, and being in community. Man, a lot of people want to hit up data. Look at the data between what a household wealth is versus a single person. Go tell Tom Brady to win championships by himself. Go tell Michael Jordan to win championships by himself.
Say it.
Go tell Jalen Hurts to win championships by himself. Tell LeBron to win championships by himself. Everything we see out in the world is done in community. Go tell Walmart to be Walmart without community. You see what happened to Target? We pulled back as a unit, not in silo. We pulled back as a unit, and they lost billions.
Mhm.
But somehow you think in your mind that you're gonna make it by yourself. You're gonna make it by yourself. Go look up the Bill Gates and Warren Buffett all you want to. They didn't do it by themselves.
Mm-mm. They didn't do it by themselves.
They didn't
And
do it by themselves.
I
And
gotta.
so
Oh,
somehow we got into our mind and structure in a program that it's a solo sport.
mm-mm.
It's not.
Wealth building is not a solo
It's
sport.
not. You know what?
Mm-mm.
This has been the most financially challenging. I look. I thought poor was, you know, living in the hood. Poor is having a mortgage that you can't pay. Poor is having car notes you can't pay. Poor is having
Man,
credit cards you can't meet.
man. Listen,
Man,
that's what we said. Myth is man.
that's a different level of poverty when you
It
can't
is.
afford your own family.
Yeah. That's what I
That,
was talking about when I was like, your the stress, the anxiety, the
yep.
overwhelming, all of those things take over your body when your finances are not in order. And
When you,
you've been speaking a lot of faith. I just want to highlight your three core principles for your
yeah,
event is fatherhood, faith, and finance. Did I get it right?
you got it right, man. Look, we start with faith. We talk about faith. What does faith look like, right, for you, right? Because man, look, it's so critical. There's gonna be ebbs and flows in your life, and your faith is gonna be tested. And one thing I do know is for a fact, when you have community, man, that wall is so much higher. That it's hard to penetrate that when you have that community. When you have people speaking life into you when you don't have nothing left, right? That trickles down to man. Even if your finances are in order, I have faith that I can get this in order. I got faith I can get this, and it gives you the strength to do so, right? But if you start outside of that faith, you want to start somewhere else. It's gonna be hard. I can't tell you how you live. It's just gonna be hard. It was difficult trying to do those things without faith, right? Because you keep hitting the same just headboard over and over, like hitting, and you're not figuring out what's going on. Man, so look at that faith. Look who aligns with your faith and get around those individuals. Because I guarantee you, man, people can help you through a situation. And then when I say help you, they're not giving you money. They're giving you something way better than money. Knowledge. It's like me trying to go do a life insurance policy without you. And,
Well,
and then I come to you and you
ain't
say,
it?
Lamar, what is this? Like, you've been dropping how much into this policy every month? Yeah, you just wasting your money, right? Because you're the expert.
Mhm.
And our faith aligns. So, hey, you know who does some of my insurance policies? Terry does.
I do.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't gonna tell the people, but if you
But
let me be real with the people, I tell the people you told me that you had to watch me for a whole year to make sure that I was for real, that I knew what I was talking about.
man,
You
look, I have to
said,
make but you know what got me though? It wasn't that you're talking, and I knew you was the expert. I could tell that you knew what you were talking about. It was your involvement in your community. You
that's
had a bigger
good.
purpose. You had a bigger purpose than selling insurance policies.
Yeah, I do.
It,
I
it
do.
wasn't an insurance policy. You were helping community. The insurance policy was
Mhm.
just a means to get to that. You know what I'm saying? The
Yes,
output is helping community in a greater good. If I
yes.
don't see, I'm sorry. If I don't see that, I can't do business with you.
I'm the same way. But here's the other thing that I tell people, like, once you become my client, it's not just about, a commission for me. Like, long after that commission, I want to make sure that my people eat. So if I have clients, which I do have a lot of clients who are business owners, entrepreneurs, like, I'm always like, look, you know about this, you should do this. When I saw the opportunity to sponsor some tickets, I was like, oh, I got some clients I'm gonna try to get in the room, because I
Yeah,
feel like these brothers need you. And they I
you,
mean, they're my clients, so they've already been exposed to me, but I can't teach a man how to be a man.
yeah,
I don't want that. I don't want
yeah.
that responsibility.
Well,
That's not my calling.
and it's not even teaching. It's by putting them in spaces that they can get wins. You running
Yes.
multiple. You running multiple plays for them,
Mhm.
right? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, man. I tell you about the power of sharing, the power of putting people in positions to win. That something can play out when you say, "Hey, man, where you meet that person in gentleman's so you telling me now y'all have a business relationship that's bringing an extra 50 grand a year because of I saw a need, I saw an area that you can thrive in, and I didn't keep that to myself. I
Mhm.
shared it with you. In fact, I sponsored you to attend, not because I wanted the recognition for it, because at the end of the day, it's more purpose of getting communities together. And by doing that, I have to work with individuals that want to do that as well. Right?
I
It's
Oh, I want to highlight something else you said too. Because you said, like, oh, I don't know everything. I don't know everything either. And I'm not the source of all knowledge. I'm
yep,
not trying to be the person that knows everything in regards to finances. Because when I tried to do that, I found myself being busy, right? So,
yep,
like you said earlier in the conversation, and Veronica Crippen, shout out to her, she put in the comment section what you said about there's a difference between being busy and being focused. So when you stay in your area, in your lane of genius, you can operate from a space of abundance and say, this is my area, this is my lane of genius. But this brother over here helps people get business funded. This brother over here helps people with real estate investing. This brother over
yep,
here helps
yep,
people with estate planning. This brother over here helps people with cryptocurrency. I'm not trying to be the source of all knowledge.
yep,
I'm going to be the plug so I can make sure that people continue to build wealth. And it's
yep,
not one product, it's not one person, it's not
yep,
one place. Like, you never know who you may meet when you
yep,
get into the room at the gentleman's toast. You won't
yep.
meet me because I won't be there. You will meet some people who are of the same mind, who are of like mind, people
Yep,
who want to grow. And I hope I didn't come across offensively. I wasn't saying like people need, like, men need to be taught how to be men. I wasn't trying to say it like that.
yeah,
But what I was saying was, there are some things that you just need to talk to a man about when you're a man, and you need to have
yep,
those safe spaces. Like, we have women empowerment spaces all the
yep,
time. We got women empowerment brunches, conferences, lunches, teas, retreats, spa
yep,
days, pool parties, like women empowerment, everything. But then
yep.
when it comes to men empowerment, it's like,
Where
who
y'all at?
doing that?
Yep. Well, we're doing it on June 28th, Gentlemen's Toast at Crimson Park, right here in Dallas, Texas, from 10 to 3:30. We have an amazing set of panelists. Some people that you might know or you're gonna get to know, right? Man, it's gonna be dynamic. We're expecting about 150 black men to be in a room, learning. And here's the thing: this year we're inviting some high school and college students as well, right? We started the My Brother's Keeper to sponsor high school students and college students because when we think about building our table, it needs to be a rough room for the next generation. Period. With that in mind,
Yes.
uh, and so we have them coming in and listening to these great minds to learn at an early age. I couldn't I don't know what life would have been like if I would have been exposed to this level of conversation and intentionality at the age of 18 to 21. Right.
Mhm.
I didn't learn the word of budgeting until I'm about 21, right? Back then we had checks, there were checks and balances, you know what I'm saying? Doing checks and balances. We didn't have a checkbook in our household, right? I grew up on Section 8. I had a single mother that raised four boys. And so you can see the theme there. She had four boys. I got three boys. I'm not having another child. We're all done. But man, just to think about the exposure that they're going to receive, um, we're hoping that would just illuminate them in a way that can transform their lives. That they make the connections and find mentors, right? the people that are purpose driven, that want to be there to share, right? We're gonna have people of all success levels in the room, and multi-generational as well. We want to see fathers and sons together. That's one of the things I'm really key on. Think about, ladies, if you're listening, think about putting your man and his father, or your father, in a room together. When do they ever really get the opportunity to build together and bounce off ideas like that? When have they ever been in those spaces? It's few. They're out there, but it's not that many. And so when we think about this, we think about, man, how can a father, a son, and maybe a third generational person be in a room together to learn these things, these tools, to receive this knowledge, right? Um, we're very intentional how we're setting this up. Very intentional, because it's about making a difference. It's about impact, right? Each person will be getting communication following the event, post event, right? With tangible things to do, actionable items to do, right? We're not coming there just to speak at people about things. We're building a community. um, we're hoping to have an event either every month or every quarter that goes into the theme of this, uh, the pursuit of financial happiness, right? So our next topic will be 9 to 5 versus entrepreneurship. Can they coexist? Because I think we've been taking advantage on social media when people saying you don't need a 9 to 5 to become a millionaire. If you look at the data, more 9 to 5 people become millionaires before entrepreneurs, right? Look at the data, right? Not trying to say entrepreneurs cannot become millionaires. I'm just saying the rate right now, 9 to 5 still has the edge, but entrepreneurs is gaining, right? So meaning that you cannot let somebody tell you that's trying to get likes that you shouldn't be working 9 to 5, that you should go all in. If that's the case, how can you get with somebody like yourself, Terry, or a financial advisor, and structure that out and create a system? Say, look, this is what this looks like if you want to go there. Because what happens is you got guaranteed income, you're changing your time for income, right? So now that purpose you have now needs to be profit driven as well, right? Because it's necessary to take care of your lifestyle, right, and your family. So we have to have these transparent conversations. And I think what kills us a lot in our community is that we don't want to talk about money. We don't want to talk about money at all. And it's a noose around our neck, and it destroys our community. And we have to have open forums to be comfortable to talk about uh, money. I'll be the first to tell you, I had a really bad financial year, to the point of fact that I wanted to even call you up and say, hey, I might need the policies, these policies right now, right? You know, but opening up and finding strategies, right? We still playing defense on my family, because being unemployed for almost a year, being injured and all those things takes a toll. How do you prepare for moments like that? It's about speaking to you. You would have, if I would have started my life insurance policies 10 years ago, I probably had a cash value in that joint to help in situations like this, right? Or
Yeah.
you can add disabilities and stuff like that to your policies and stuff like that. There's there's avenues to prepare for moments like this. We just got to ask the right questions, be in the right rooms to have these conversations, and find the right people that we trust. I think that's going to be really key. Finding the community that you trust to build with, right? Because we understand there's criminals always going to find a way. Hustle is always going to find a way, right? And so you mentioned me taking a year to do business with you. I have another guy named Paul that I do business with. It took me 3 years to do business with him. I wanted to build a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Relationships,
Right.
relationships,
I want to build a
relationships.
relationship. I want to see if you're going to be consistent with what you do. This is
Mhm.
not a phase, because we got a lot of insurance people out there these days now, just like we
Listen,
got a lot of real
speak
estate
about it,
agents,
preach, sir.
right?
Talk
We
to
got
me.
we got a lot of them out there. We got a lot of them out because they found out that it might be a quick buck in it. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you're dealing with people's lives. You're dealing with
Yeah.
people's future here. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be very intentional about it and very consistent about it? Are you going to do the continual education to stay up to date on what's happening in your field? Right? Are you going to learn and teach me the things for if something happens to you? Pray to God it does not. I know how to make my next moves because you already taught me, opposed to just letting me sit in it and you like, man, I can't even get in contact with her. Something happened.
Oh, speak about that. So business is session. So I know you may have gotten a text by now
Yep.
from Nia. So people always say, like, I like Nia. She's so professional. Where you find
Yeah.
her? This is my baby sister. And she
I saw the
graduated
last name.
from college. Yeah, she graduated from college last year.
Congratulations to her.
And yes, she majored in business analytics. And so it started off as an opportunity for her to be able to, get some more experience for a resume. But I realized I wanted to make sure that I could give her an opportunity. It looked like we lost him. It looked like he may have to come back. But I'll
Give
just
me
say
home.
this. Oh, there you go. There you go. Let me add you back. So I wanted to make sure that if something happens to me, my people, my clients, my mentees, the people that have worked with me, they're not going to say, well, shoot, we don't know what to do. We don't know where to find our stuff for any of that. So I've already gotten to the point because I turned 35 on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to start thinking about business succession
Yes.
planning now. I know I want to retire softly and retire wealthy at 50. So let me go ahead and put those things in place and have a business succession plan. Like, we
Yeah.
don't need to just make money for today. We need to decide if this is something that we want to do in the long run. What do you want to do with your nonprofit? Do you
Yep.
want to gift it to your babies? Do you want this to be something that
Yep.
the Quinn family can carry on with their legacy for hundreds and hundreds of years? As a
And
matter of
so
fact, I love the fact we're on video because guess what? When
what?
your babies turn 35 and 40 years old, they're going to be able to see this video and say, oh, look at my dad. Look at the principles that he taught. Look at what
Yep.
he did back in 2025. This
Yep.
is legacy.
Yep.
This is legacy. This is purpose.
And so we talk about sustainability a lot all, across all the movements I'm involved in, right? What does that look like, right? We had a scare last year. I was out. What does the organization? Because here's the thing, man. When you're dealing with people and their finances and they're investing in you, most people that invest in you want to make sure that's sustainable. You don't want to see something that ends in a year or it was just a phase of what you're doing. We want to see impact across that, right? You want to see those seeds planted. And we might sometimes not be here to see the tree grow to create shade for somebody else. But we can start to see the tree sprout,
Mhm.
right? And it's being watered. That's what you want to see, right? And a large problem times we move so fast that we don't even know. And I'm like, we have to continue to think about that. So when I'm doing business or I'm investing even in anything, I'm looking about what does this look 5, 10 years down the line. Some of the biggest brands out there, Coca-Cola been around, it's a product that's gonna stay around, right? Uh Even institutions such as look at a lot of universities, right? They do this with they implant in you to make sure that it succeeds to your kids. So your kids end up being alumni and their kids end up being alumni, right? They have that intentionality, and we have to have that same intentionality in our community to uplift our community. Not to get rich. That's gonna be a byproduct. But the purpose should be, man, I'm building this in this community, this movement, this business to uplift our community. And I'm going to charge a fair amount with the output I'm putting out there. I'm not going to overcharge them because I'm the only one doing it. I'm not going to do this. I'm doing this at the end of the day for our community. When you put that purpose and you're led by that purpose first, it transforms multiple generations. You
Yeah.
just mentioned our business relationship is transforming my kids out the outlook on their life. So you just hit 2 generations. And with that being said, if we stay consistent, which is on me, not on you, even though you do your checkups, we just did an annual checkup, right?
Mhm.
If that stays consistent, it will be a ripple effect to make sure the next generations. So Charity would have touched 3 generations of the Queens
Yes.
at
Yes.
the
You
surface
make me
level.
cry. That's so beautiful. I love what I do.
And so we have to I think about life like that, not right now,
Yeah.
20 years, 30 years down, 100 years later.
Mhm.
We have to be futuristic in our thoughts
We
as
do.
black and brown folks.
Mhm. Oh,
I'm sorry, I lost you there, but
yep. I see you now.
um,
I see you now. I
that's
see
my
you.
alarm going off because I gotta get going. I have the judge of pitch competition shortly.
Oh, you having fun, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I can't hear you.
I said you're having fun, aren't you?
Hold on,
Oh, you
give me one
probably lost
second.
now. Okay. Okay, it looked like he lost sound, y'all. But listen, if you have not gotten
I
your
can't hear
ticket to
you.
the Gentleman's Toast, get your ticket. If you know of a young man that needs to be in the room, buy a ticket for him. Sponsor that ticket for that young man. If you know of an older man that needs to be in the room, sponsor a ticket for him. Father's Day wasn't just Sunday. Father's Day could be any day. Any day. Shoot, let it be Uncle's Day. Let it be little cousin day. Let it be your frat brother day. All right. And Father's Day is not just on Sunday. So if you know someone that needs to be in the room, go ahead and purchase a ticket for them or tag them in this video or send them this video because we want to see more of these things happen. Dr.
Yes.
Lamar just talked about charging a fair price. Even though these events may be spectacular on the outside, on the inside, it costs us a lot. It costs us our energy. It costs us our mental space. It costs us our family time. It costs money. And I know from going to his sneaker balls and other events that everything that he does with excellence. So you don't have to worry about going there and eating a Lunchable. Like they're gonna feed you. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be done with excellence. Just
Well,
for a guy instead of for the women like I do it. That's why I highly recommend you tap into the link. You tap the link, check it out. Even if you can't go, just click on the website anyway, so that he gets more SEO support, so more people can find the website. Okay.
yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, if you can't tap in, think about sponsoring the college students. We have about 7 that's in a wing waiting to get that sponsorship, right? So think about sponsoring one of those college students, right? It's so important they enter the space, right? So uh, look, thank you so much, Terry. Thank you so much for creating this platform, inviting me on this platform to share, being a sponsor as well, knowing that you can't attend, making it very easy to do business with you all the time, and you doing business with excellence, right? Because look, Terry gonna cross every T, dot every I. She's gonna get you on that horn and have a conversation. She's gonna walk you through every line. She ain't gonna let you, even when you say, "Oh, I can't do it," she's like, "Well, we do it next day. We could do it another day. What day we gonna do
Tomorrow,
it? Because we're
I
gonna
want
we're
to
gonna
teach
do this. We're gonna do this. You gonna learn today." And so thank you for that. Thank you from that. That grace you gave me. We talked about me. You reached out. And I couldn't reach back because I was not in a mental space. You gave me so much grace. We have to understand that sometimes when people don't reach back out to you, it's not personal,
you.
right? You have to understand, like, sometimes people are going through something, and if you genuinely care about that person, you're waiting to hear them out, right? And so thank you for waiting on me to get back to my normal self and letting me take care of things that matter most to me in a moment, which is my family and my mental health. But
Yes.
thank you for that, Grace.
You're
I gotta get going. So thank you again. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all soon and see. Hey, all the men, I'll see y'all on the 28th. I know y'all tapping in. So see y'all on the 28th. Take
Yes,
care. Bye
yes.
bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye. Thank you, LaShawn, for being here. And I just want to wrap this up by saying that if you are like Terry, that space sounds amazing for men. But what about the women? Guess what? I have a free community called Business Women Building Wealth. You can tap into that community. I'm pouring into the community every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And we have a meetup every month. Okay, we have a meetup every month. So make sure you go to jointerry.com. And like I said before, make sure you tap on his website, even if you can't go, even if you can't sponsor a ticket, because we want more people to see what he's doing and we want more visibility so we can get more support for causes like that. All right. So thank you all for tuning into my live. I hope you all have an abundant and an amazing day. And I will see you all again tomorrow because this is officially day 2 of my 21-day live challenge. I am known as the Women's Wealth Strategist. I specialize in helping business owners and working professionals be able to attract abundance and retire wealthy, be able to build financial freedom and generational wealth so that we can live, lead, and leave multi-million dollar legacies. Have a great day, everybody. Adios.